Hello everyone, this is episode 1 of the Nekozuki Yarns podcast. I'm Katie, also known as Nekozuki Yarns, kind of obvious. You can find me on pretty much all social media as Nekozuki Yarns, particularly Ravelry, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Pinterest. I'm most active generally on Instagram and Tumblr. Tumblr gets more of my fangirling, etc. Although I do support a lot of very cool indie people on there by reblogging and purchasing such stuff such as yarn. So, it is actually bright and sunny here in Calgary, Alberta. It is December 13th, 14th, right? 14th. And it's Sunday, 2014. We're almost to 2015. Absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe it. This is actually take 2. I just recorded a 45-minute podcast and my computer did not save it. Absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. But such is life and such is the first podcast, right? So, stuff will happen. Anyway, this podcast is mainly going to be about my shop on Etsy, also there as Nekozuki Yarns, and then my personal, a little bit, mostly kind of half and half probably. My shop right now is a lot of where my crafting energy goes. I call it the shop for fiber enthusiasts of all kinds, because there's people who love to knit and crochet and like sew and everything like that, but don't like to do it. So I do that part. And then I also produce project bags through sewing for those who like to do it themselves. It's best of both worlds for me. Also gives me a break from just knitting or just sewing, which I need. I'm Gemini, and I'm going to blame it on my zodiac horoscope. But yeah, I definitely split attention, and it's good to keep myself entertained. Now, I am going to be talking with my hands a lot because my current work in progress is a pair of socks, and I'm on the heel flap, which involves counting, especially these next 2 rows. I can't do both at the same time, so I'm sorry. I'm going to be twitchy, and my hands are going to be all over the place. I'm going to be looking over here because I actually have my show notes over here so that I can get my mouse if I need it. So, right now, I'm going to give you a little bit of information about myself. My name's Katie. Nekozuki Yarns comes from my love of Japan. I lived there for 9 months in 2009-2010. I attended school as a university student at Kansai Gaidai University, or Kansai Gaidai Daigaku, if you speak Japanese. My pronunciation is probably off completely right now. That school is in Hirakatashi, Osaka, which is Osaka. And best experience of my life, ever. Because of the length, it actually beats my wedding right now. My wedding day was fantastic and very recent, but Japan is just, it's Japan. Can't be beat from me right now. Only thing that's probably come close to it for a trip is when we went down to Disney World, and I took my husband for the first time. Yeah, no, that was amazing. So anyway, I lived in Japan for 9 months. Lots of my fabric is actually imports from Japan. I've got some Etsy sellers that I use from there. And Nekozuki Yarns. Neko is cat. Zuki is actually usually ski. It's like or love. So Nekozuki is cat lover. So I'm cat lover yarns. And I figured that was cute. And also I'm wearing the cat shirt right now. It's actually handmade out of Edmonton, Alberta. I was just married in July 19th. I have been with my husband for nearly 6 years now. It was time. We'd been together and then we were engaged for 20 months and I was ready to be done the wedding planning and ready to start moving forward with other stuff and getting my shop going and getting shows going and working on other things and living up to my expectations instead of someone else's. I loved it though. It was, yeah. Japan, wedding, Disney World. I'm sure something else will come up after that, but yeah. And Japan only because it was so long. It's probably technically tied with my wedding day. And I got to wear a pretty dress on my wedding day, so you know. But Japan had pretty kimono, and I came home with a lot of those too, so. Tie. We'll call it a tie. So today I'm going to talk about my works in progress. I'm going to not talk about FOs because they are all Christmas knitting and I don't want to spoiler anyone. Just know that currently I'm working on US 1s, which is a 2.75? 2.25. 2s are 2.75 millimeter needle, and the next project I need to work on is a 20 millimeter needle. It's going to be something. But I will have photos. If you follow me on Ravelry and take a look at my projects there, you will actually see the Christmas projects there, because lots of people who are receiving they don't follow me on there, so I have to post them somewhere. Then I'm going to talk about anime. Considering my introduction, I am an anime fanatic. I have been since I was 5 or 6 when the English version of Sailor Moon came out, and I'll go into a little bit more about that. I'm going to do spinning / general crafting. That will be a fairly regular segment, and stash enhancement. I do actually have some stash enhancement to show you. I'm going to let you know what I'm reading, because that's what I did last time. And then we're going to do a little bit more about shop news, so you can finish off there if you want. And chatter's going to be interspersed, because the last time I recorded this first episode, it was interspersed everywhere, because that's how I talk. I am very much a tangential person, which is very likely from my university education, but you never know. Anyway, tangles are out of my yarn now, so I can actually show you what I'm working on. This is currently in one of my wedge bags. I have to test my products, right? So, this was the first run that I did. They're top stitched, so you won't actually get your zipper caught in the fabric. My yarn is in here right now. It was actually just holding my socks. So, 2 at a time socks, yarn, all fits right in here. Super small bag, and it's squishy. I made sure that it squishes into stuff so that you can stuff it in a purse or something. But it's got enough shape that if you want to like set it down, you're not going to have a bag that instantly falls over. I have personally added a carabiner to mine because I like hooking it on my purse or my bag or like my hip. I hook it to my belt loop a lot of the time if I'm walking, because I like to knit and walk so that I'm distracted while I'm walking. Well, to a point. I walk in a park, so I don't have to worry about crossing any roads or anything like that. If I was doing that more often, then yeah, I would actually worry about it more. But I'm not, so I may as well knit at the same time. Or if I'm going to the gym, I will leave it in this bag as well. I'm sure I've gotten some strange looks at the gym for actually bringing my knitting, but honestly, if I'm in the gym and my knitting, like I've taken my knitting there, and that's why I'm in the, like, as long as I'm in the gym, it doesn't matter. I'm just using a treadmill right now. It's too slippery to walk outside. See? Tangent. So anyway, these are my socks. This is Jawoll Color Sport 6 Fadig, so 6 ply. It's an Action, 150 grams, 400 meters, and it includes 10 grams of reinforcement yarn, which is really cool because once it like falls apart, I can darn them, which is awesome. It's 75% wool, 25% nylon, and it's color 134. I'm not going to show you the price because I paid too much for this when I don't like it very much, actually. See? 150 and that colorway. See? 134. I love color numbers. And then that's the content. Sorry. 75 wool, 25 nylon. Okay. I started these back in July when we went for our, like, getaway right after the honeymoon. We technically had 2 honeymoons, but whatever. I got spoiled this year. I was probably here. I was in here somewhere. This is a workhorse yarn, so it's really hard on my hands. I will preface it like that. I don't really like the colors either. I don't like how they're, these splotches. If it were just striping, it would be okay, but there's this really weird purple-orange in here as well. I love this yellow. I'll get that out of the way. I love this yellow, and there's a really cool pink that borders right on the purple, and I think those two are freaking fantastic, and if I had stripes in those colors, I would be happy for days, and so proud of these socks. There are two things about this, though. It's a thicker, well, that's a sport. I would say that it's probably a heavy fingering. So it's not like the most delicate of yarns, and I have just started knitting socks, like literally beginning of this year, like January-ish. Started knitting socks because I wanted socks for my wedding, and this is heavier than that wool. So I do my socks toe up so that I can try them on. I cast on too many stitches to begin with, but the nice thing is it fits nicely over my, like over the balls of my feet, so my toe box is awesome. But slightly, yeah, I would say slightly phallic. When you put them on, you cannot tell, so that's fine. But between that and not liking the colors and still being tired from the wedding, like 100% exhausted. We were both so exhausted. It was ridiculous. I was very unhappy with these socks, so I stopped about here. But I picked them up, and so I probably only had about an inch and a half, 2 inches, 2 inches max, probably an inch and a half to start the heel. So I was sitting there the other day, and everything's so fiddly, like so fiddly. I was working on color work, and no matter the size, that's fiddly as heck. And I knit a lot on transit. I work 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Have to take transit every day. It's only half an hour, but it's half an hour I can use to knit. Like, I may as well, right? And I needed something on the train, and it was either I needed to rip these out so I could get the needles for another pair of socks, because that makes sense, or continue them. And considering the fact that these are such workhorse yarn, or it is such a workhorse yarn, I should be able to wear it in shoes. So I picked the socks back up. I'm doing the heel turn. I'm halfway through the heel on the other sock, which is why it's longer than this one. I do my socks 2 at a time, magic loop, toe up. Just because I haven't knit enough socks to know exactly how many stitches and stuff yet. So until then, toe up. And they're fantastic, and I love the slip stitch. This is going to wear really well on my shoes, I think. And like, look at how thick it is. It's so awesome. Like, compared to... You can actually tell the difference. This one's not as thick. This side. This is the top. This is the heel. Even there you can tell. Like, look at it. It's awesome. So, yeah, I'll have a pair of socks here in a couple weeks, hopefully. Hopefully by the next time I podcast. Yeah. Just after Christmas, I should have another pair of socks, if not before. Follow me on Instagram. I'll post pictures there, and you'll know exactly when they're finished. In conclusion with these, they're okay. They're going to fit well. They're nice and snug. Don't like the color. Don't like the feel of the yarn, but although I now know if I need like a good set for like workhorse yarn, probably for my husband. Actually, I should probably knit him a pair out of this. Not this color. That they will wear. These are shoe socks, and that's okay with me. Alright. As I said, no FOs right now, because everything I've knit is going somewhere. Spinning and general crafting. I'm not spinning much right now, but just after my first show that I did, sorry, a tag fell. Just after the first show I did, I spun some yarn. This was the only show that I did of the year. It's the first year of the Fiber Arts Festival in Calgary. Went absolutely amazing. However, I was beside an indie dyer out of Drumheller, and she had fiber. Now, this is not good color representation. I'm going to have to figure out something for the lighting. But I did exactly what I wanted. I've done Navajo plied it, so it's gradated. It goes in from like this pinky to a really cool like turquoisey blues and then a purple. I am not spinning right now as much as I would like, but that's okay. I have a shocked ladybug. I bought it secondhand from a lady in Chestermere off Kijiji. Yay, Kijiji. It saved me a few dollars once in a while. This isn't as much yardage as I was hoping. I was trying to get enough for Zuzu's petals, but I think this might become a cat hat because it's nice and squishy and it's such gorgeous colors. It needs to be shown off. It can't be something that's like consistently tucked into my jacket for winter. I actually just got a pink jacket, so this would be perfect with it. Again, like Tara from Dragonfly Dye Works, her fiber prep is awesome. I've spun and knit from some of her stuff before that I purchased at a local yarn shop, and can't say enough good things. She's super cute, super friendly. This is actually in a trade because she liked some of my bags at this shop or show, and so I traded for some fiber and some yarn because yay trades. Anyway, I think I've got about 80 yards. Feels like it's probably an errand to bulky weight. Pretty consistent. That is the one nice thing about this, is I am getting consistency. No matter what kind of yarn I've spun, which is nice. And so yeah, Dragonfly Dye Works. Didn't have a colorway. About 80 yards. It's a superwash BFL. It's not super soft, but that's okay. It's going to be a hat. It's squishy. I like it. Like, you can actually see it on camera, which I love sometimes. Sometimes can't. But yeah, it squishes. And it smells good. I washed it with eucalyptus and oh. Okay. Now, a couple other of these. These are actually from an indie dyer out of Calgary. Her name is Alicia, and she is with Yarn Inc. Now, I got these on Thursday at Knit Night because she came to Knit Night. Yeah, there we go. Good enough. Yarninc.com. And I didn't keep the tags on, not thinking, because these colors are so gorgeous. Anyway, first one is Over the Rainbow. Superwash bulky. 106 yards. Like, come on. I know you can do it. You just did it. It's 160 yard, or 106, there we go. 100% superwash wool. And it's gorgeous. Like, look at this. Again, squishy. Now, because I've already recorded, this is super messy skein. But yeah, just like absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to knit with this. This is going to be a pair of mittens for me. I did actually get 2 other skeins, and I'll show those to you now. And so, the first one, or the second one, is Starry Night. Again, bulky. This is going to be mittens for my husband, because honestly, it's really hard to find good variegated colors for men. Like, he's not going to wear this. I have some crazy sock yarn for him, but he's not going to wear this color mittens. But this, I think, will be gorgeous. And, like, this camera is not doing it justice, but there's, like, this is neon, pretty much. And then it's got these gorgeous green blues and, like, a black, gray, bluey kind of color. Dark, dark navy to black, gray. Because black, gray makes sense. And then the last one. Now, this is why I actually ordered from her, because I couldn't not. Again, Yarn Inc. Love her tags. Like, when my tags grow up, I want them to look like this. I'm always playing around with my packaging. It's kind of ridiculous. Every show has had something different to, like, for display, for pricing and everything like that. So maybe I can channel her next time. So this colorway is Neon Pop Sparkle Sock. Now, I didn't actually know this was sparkle when I bought it, so when I got it, I was like, it's gorgeous, and you'll see in a minute. It's 75% superwash wool, 20% nylon, 5% silver stellina, 438 yards, quite generous, 100 grams. Let's see if you can see that. Oh, look at that. And look at this. Like, Oh my god. I saw it and I was flabbergasted. Like I said, I saw this, where did I see this? I knew she was making an update. I think I saw it on Instagram. She's got quite a few followers on Instagram. She regularly posts. It's amazing. But I think I saw this on Tumblr and couldn't turn it down. No. I haven't decided if this is going to be, socks or another, like, My Hope by Laura Linneman, because it's variegated and it would look gorgeous. Like these purples. Just friggin' fantastic. I can't believe it. And sparkly. Again. Like, can you see it? I got it to do it last time. Yeah, see, there's sparkle in there. So, yeah. Bye from Alicia. She's super cute, super awesome to meet on Thursday. Like, yeah, I can't ask for more. And finally, I've had this for a bit because it came in the mail. It's fishnets. Jody, Strong Heart, 2-ply fingering. And it's her Canadiana colorway, which is the Hudson's Bay stripes. Now, if you don't know Hudson's Bay Company, it's those blankets with the red, yellow, green, blue stripes. White mostly in the middle, kind of natural white. And they were originally used for fur traders when the Europeans came to Canada. And they started trading with natives and trappers as well. So anyway, this is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 400 yards, and I'm going to show you her shop name while I take a drink of coffee. It is fishnitshop.etsy.com. Let's see if it'll focus here for you guys. Honestly, some days I actually got it to focus the first recording. Anyway, Fishnit. It's fishnitshop.etsy.com. I will be doing show notes. All of this will be in there. There we go. Haha. And I've got 2 skeins of this. I'm going to make a pair of socks for me and a pair of socks for my husband. Alright. What I'm currently reading, I'm actually reading a book that I'm not too impressed with. I'm reading Tigana by Guy Gabriel Kay, Canadian author, Canadian male author. I read a lot. I'm not impressed with this. I had it come to me with very high recommendations. He tells a lot instead of showing it, and it doubles the length, because he will tell something, and you kind of think, yeah, the other characters are doing that, like the protagonists, but the antagonist, so the people who are like antagonizing that guy, the tyrant, yeah, he'll tell it, and then he'll go back and he'll show it from the protagonist's perspective. And honestly, I would much just prefer if it was just focused on those protagonists. Sure, switch to the antagonist, tell what his reactions are, but don't repeat it and expand consistently without warrant. I don't know. Gorgeous writing. No problem with the writing. Writing's on point. Amazing, but I can't, I just don't care. And that's probably just me. I know there's lots of people who love Guy Gabriel Kay. Obviously, it came with really high recommendations to me, but just not my cup of tea. And I've read a few things like that this year, and honestly, the best stuff I've read this year has been young adult / teen. Yeah, there's a few things I'm really looking forward to reading, and I will tell you more about those actually when I start reading them. Some series are actually bringing out new books here soon. Super excited about that. Alright, anime. So, I was talking earlier about Sailor Moon. My husband, a couple years ago, actually got me the whole set. Uncut from Sailor Moon to Stars plus the movies. Dubbed, uncut, everything. Sailor Moon is so much better in Japanese. If you watched it as a kid and you're kind of eh, watch it again, but watch it with Japanese sub. So awesome. Storyline for the first season is so much better. I always heard it. Even as a teenager, I heard that it was good because I was in the fanfic community and such. a lot more actively then. Just ran out of time. And yeah, I agree. Like, it's amazing the liberties that they took with it when they're releasing it in English. Currently we are actually watching Stars. My husband and I are watching it together because he had never seen it. I've never seen Stars. I've seen everything up until then. But yeah, it's better just to watch it once with him and then I can go back and watch it again later. Sailor Stars is interesting. And I'll get a little bit more into that with Crystal because we are currently watching that as well, which is the anime reboot for the anniversary. But Stars doesn't feel much like Sailor Moon, and yeah, it's kind of strange. I really like the manga version of Stars a lot better, mostly because so much of this season now, and they all is filler. Like, the story hasn't progressed like it should, and we're already like halfway through the season. Yeah, it's going to be good to finish it. Sailor Moon Crystal is fantastic. I'm loving it. I love the manga, and I really like Takeuchi Sensei, or Takeuchi Naoko Sensei's work. I think she did a really good job with her arcs and not doing a lot of filler. Now, the anime has had to put a little bit of filler in, but it's stuff that makes sense. It answers some of the questions that the manga left. Like, it's just like, here, take this, and we're not going to explain it. Stuff that's been confirmed, that's always been like fan speculation, and I think that the new anime, like Sailor Moon Crystal, is really balancing out well with the manga, well with old fans. I know it's super popular, and I think it's done a really good job of filling the gaps the manga left. Compared to the first anime, especially, like, her story arcs are so well, like, I think they are so well done and so well rounded, but that the first anime just did so much filler. And, like, all the power to them, but yeah, I'm enjoying the new series. There have been a couple episodes where I've noticed that the animation style is really kind of choppy. But I can kind of forgive that considering the, like, production schedule that they're on right now. And I'm just excited to see the rest of it. I'm excited to see how they deal with a lot of what happened in the manga. Simply because it was so, like, shock-inducing to me. Like, because I started reading it in English when they brought out the new translations with the new covers. So I'd never read the... Oh. I won't tell you how I read it the first time. I enjoy the new translations, not the old translations. I'll just leave it at that. The other one I'm actually currently watching is Pandora Hearts. This was really big when I was actually in Japan, so I'm a little bit behind on it. But the nice thing is that we just got Crunchyroll in Canada, and I can watch it unlimited anime. So awesome. Sailor Moon Crystal is currently the only simulcast I'm watching. I've watched a couple others this year. Again, kind of disappointed. I get disappointed when it's kind of that... yeah, acceptance and kind of giving up. There's a couple manga I'm going to have to read so that I don't, like, just leave the series where it's at because it was so well developed. And I could tell that from the anime, but I know the manga will be continuing, and it'll just fill in those gaps that the anime didn't. Anyway, Pandora Hearts reminds me a lot of Fullmetal Alchemist for some reason, like, just elements of it, not everything. And I'm really enjoying it. I see why so many people enjoyed it, actually. It's really, I wouldn't say cute. There's moments to it. But it's really good. I would highly recommend it. Pandora Hearts. Sailor Moon Crystal. Definitely watch Sailor Moon Crystal. If you get a chance, watch Sailor Moon dubbed, or subbed. Subbed from Japanese. Alright, this would normally be shop news. However, I am currently not sewing for the shop or knitting for the shop because I am currently in Christmas gift mode. The next one that I have in my head is I will probably do another small update in mid-January-ish. Like the 10th or the 24th. One of those 2 weeks. Because my husband's home for a full week finally in January, which would be fantastic. And I'm not doing any shop work when he's home. Not this time. Also designs. I do have about half a dozen designs I'm currently forming in my head. They're nearly there, and it's basically just finding the time to actually knit them. Behind me here is my first design. This is the Confederation Park cross-stitch top. Should have made the title shorter. I don't know why it's so long, but it's cute. Gorgeous like yoke detail. It's a little bit of lace cross-stitch, siege stitch borders, nice short sleeve tee. I was silly. I did release it in October in Canada, but I had knit this for our Disney World trip in October, so kind of that's why it's there. Melinda of the Yarnder Woman podcast is currently hosting a giveaway for this design, so definitely head over there and enter if you'd like a chance to win a copy. There's also a coupon code, and I probably won't be doing it with this one, but future like designs might actually be listed as giveaway on the podcast. That's the nice thing about designing them myself. It's easy to give away. And also, as I get closer, there will be more test knit requests, and I'll give you links and everything for that once they come up. What was I going to say about this? Yeah, that's pretty much it about it. If you knit it, I would love to see projects. Like, I would absolutely love to see projects. I've only got one other linked right now. But it's super comfy. The waist shaping has been lengthened a bit on the actual pattern, so it's not quite so like in out. Although honestly, when I put it on, you can't tell the difference. I do wear another like cami under this just because the cotton sometimes does stretch a bit. This has negative ease already knit into it. This is actually a 34 bust. I'm a 42, so this, yeah, negative ease is actually worked in already. So pattern size, which is 34 to 50 inches, it has been graded for all of those sizes, 4-inch increments. Negative ease is about 4 inches. So this is a 42-inch sweater. It's probably about a 38 bust right now. It fits so well. I love it. I find I have such a hard time finding short sleeve tops to knit for my trips, and I love having like one or two to take down with me. And I love detail. Like, this yoke is perfect, and I couldn't find any other yokes pretty much. I have knit the Radiant Yoke tee, which is awesome, and the Gemini tee. Radiant Yoke, I'll link to it. I don't remember the designer's name. I'm pretty sure it's a Wendy something. And Gemini is a free pattern from Knitty by Jane Richmond. And they're both really nice. But they're a couple of the only ones that have any kind of like lace around the yoke. So I designed one. Why not? It's raglan shaped. Very, very short sleeves. They are kind of fluttery sleeves. They're very loose, very light. I wore it for a full day in Disney. Didn't have a problem. It was super comfy. And, alright, normally I would put chatter here, but it's been all throughout. I guess I could tell you I've been knitting since 2007. Sewing for only a couple of years, actually. I'm getting better, you can tell. Compared to some of the old bags, I'm definitely better. And yeah, some of the podcasts I've been watching, I mentioned Yarnder Woman by Melinda. She's out of Perth. It's really cute. Really trippy though, because it is most definitely winter outside my window, even with Chinooks. And she is going into spring. Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't made it down to the southern hemisphere, but I have a feeling it's probably time. I also watched The Knit Girls with 3 L's, Laura and Leslie. I watched Knitting in Circles by Amy and Darren. And then I just started the Minerva Turkey Knits podcast with Shannon out of Florida. What else? I watched Lisa of the Fiber Nymph Dye Works. Excuse me. I thought there was another, but and I just started Susan B. Anderson's podcast, kind of for just her catching up ones. I'm watching her back episodes first. Anyway, let's hope that this one worked. I'm going to teach you a little bit of Japanese. Their informal goodbye is jamate, which means I'll see you later. So jamate.